Baseball is back, and we want to celebrate by slashing the cost of any daily picks packages. That includes a baseball play by 50%, including 5% best bets. This amazing promotion runs from Thursday, April 7th, when 18 of the 30 MLB teams take part in opening day, to midnight on Wednesday, April 13th, and you can get $25 daily packages for $12.50, $29 daily combo packages for $14.50, $35 5% best bets for $17.50, and $39 5% best bet combo packages for $19.50. Whether you never bet on MLB or just like discounts, save 50% on baseball picks for the entire first week of the baseball regular season.
All right, sitting at the Masters, excited to see Tiger play. Fake background alert. I'm Lawrence Pressman. You're watching WagerTalk Today, and all week we've had a different host. Shout out to Rob Veno on Monday, and now I've gone blank on the rest, but lots of different hosts. Marco joined us. Drew joined us. Andy Lang, all excellent job. Who do we have hosting today? Teddy Covers is back! Woo! Ooh, I lost energy there, Teddy. Woo! Welcome back, bro.
Great to be here.
You upset I haven't told everybody who's on the show or anything? Like, do you want to start with me at all quick? Get it out of the way?
It's early. We'll get there.
Okay.
But don't you worry about it, Lawrence.
Yeah, I missed you start. You know, a couple of times this week I didn't announce the guests right off the top of the show, and it was very liberating, Teddy. You know, not having to hear shit from anybody. Rob Veno at the top of the show. He's talking NBA, Houston, Toronto, Charlotte, and Chicago. We got Hakeem Profit, Skee. He's got 3 NBA games. And we got Matthew Joesph at the end of the show. We're going to talk some baseball, Teddy. Toronto Blue Jays onslaught begins today. What did you learn in the wonderful world of sports betting, bro?
Well, I didn't learn, there's some things I learned in sports betting, but this is what I mostly learned, is that COVID sucks. Really didn't enjoy that a whole lot. I'm glad I got jabbed, because if I didn't, it probably would have been a whole lot worse. Good to be back. And if you bring that shit around me again, Prez, I'll Will Smith your ass. I got the freaking palm right here ready to pop you. So COVID sucks. That's what I learned. I've been as hot as Vegas in July, man. I mean, it's been really a remarkable run. 13-2 the last 15, 68-31 with a push the last 100.
Yeah.
Up 125% ROI for my clients since February. Literally more than doubled everyone's bankroll over the last 2 months. And I haven't even enjoyed it, Prez. You know, when you're sick, when you're fighting stuff, you're not even enjoying it. Just, all right, what am I doing the next day? What am I doing the next day? Maybe that's why it's lasting so long. This has been an extended streak now. 100 plays at 68%. Yeah. I'll take it as long as it lasts, my friend. That's what I learned. COVID sucks. I'm hot. What did you learn?
Well, I learned that you blame me for COVID, but I don't want to get into that. Anyway, I blame you. You blame me. That's we'll just move on from there. Teddy Covers. What did I learn? I lost 2 NHL games in a row, bro, and I'm gutted over it. 2 measly games, and I'm gutted. While you're on your incredible run, I've been on an incredible NHL run. And I'm excited about my play tonight, dude. I got a 5% play up in NHL. I have lost 2 in a row, but I'm still on a 9-2 and 26-8 run. And everybody who's been following my 5% plays know these plays are important to play. I have a promo code to get to for everyone. I'm only giving this promo code out on this show, not on Twitter, nowhere else. It is NHL15. That's NHL15. You get $15 off of my 5% play tonight. And I'm in action in baseball, but not on the Blue Jays. Let's bring Rob Veno in. Robert, You did a great job co-hosting with me on Tuesday. I can't thank you enough, brother.
Well, it was fun, Prez. Always fun to be there. Obviously, the circumstances weren't the best. Teddy, glad to see you're better, buddy. No problem filling in for you anytime, though, my friend. And I promise I won't bring that stuff around you. So you're fine by me.
I appreciate it. It was the weirdest thing, Rob, because I never got worse. I just never got better. It was like just day after day. You're like, it was like Groundhog Day again and again. You're like, all right, we'll get there. All right, we'll get there. It's a week later. All right, we'll get there. But thank you for filling in for me. I appreciate it very much.
Yeah, and both you guys. Glad you're both better because Prez had it too. He wasn't feeling well. So we're glad everybody's feeling better now in the Wager Talk family.
Teddy had it first. Anyway, Houston. Yeah, Teddy.
That's a lie. You brought it to me and my family. Don't do that. I'll give you one shot here, Prez. Shut up. You brought it to me. Don't go there.
Rob, I'm not allowed to go there. I just got Will Smith verbally. I got verbally Will Smith.
Let's go to the NBA.
Line move. It was 11 and a half. So it's still 11 and a half. Houston playing Toronto. I played against Toronto last night. Freddie didn't play. I thought we get a bad performance, but no, this team shows a ton of moxie. They want to win, Rob. Now that's a huge cover for them. Minus 11 and a half, 228. What do you like?
Yeah, and I think I'll take a shot with the other side here tonight, Prez, just because of the hefty points available here with the Houston Rockets. Certainly great win for Toronto last night. And believe me, I think they still want to keep winning. I don't think they want to lose their hold on that number 5 position because it looks as if things fall the way they should on paper, that the 4-5 matchup becomes them and the 76ers, and Toronto matches up real well with Philadelphia. So I think they want to win. I just don't know that they can win by more than 11 and a half for various reasons here. Obviously, the one that sticks out is the fact that they're on back-to-back here tonight. Houston's on 2 full days rest. Toronto played extended minutes shorthanded, as you mentioned. No Fred VanVleet, still no OG Anunoby. Neither will be seen tonight, so they're going to go with their same 8-man rotation here. Last night, Gary Trent Jr. over 41 minutes. Scotty Barnes over 40 minutes. Chris Sachua over 40 minutes. And, of course, Pascal Siakam, who had the huge game, over 37 minutes. So, that's 3 guys over 40 minutes. Going to be tough here tonight with a limited bench for them, I think, because the Rockets are the fastest paced team in the entire NBA for the entire season. So they're going to come in here on 2 full days rest, try to turn it into a track meet. Toronto's still probably the better team, but I don't know that they can cover 11 and a half. Houston's been good getting us paid the last 7 games, 5-1-1 against the spread. They've been good getting us paid last 11 games, 7-3-1 against the spread, 70%. The Rockets, I just talked about why the Raptors want to win. The Rockets may want to lose. And when they lost the other night, they took ownership of the worst record in the NBA. If they lose out, they get more ping pong balls than anybody else. Teddy, we had this discussion, you and I, on NBA Tip-Off about a week and a half ago. And you said, Rob, I watched that game. Houston doesn't want to lose. Management wants to lose. A couple of things here real quick. The Rockets were dangerously close to climbing out of the NBA cellar after winning 3 of 4 games. But then Houston opted to sit veterans Eric Gordon, Dennis Schroeder, Christian Wood, and yield control to its youngsters, and intriguing results. So management, we'll pull a few guys back. Guys like Jalen Green on the floor, the main goal is to try and finish the season strong. So I know the players will play hard here tonight. May just be a bit outmanned. I think for those reasons, guys, 11 and a half is probably too much. I could see Toronto getting by, but not by a big number.
So my clients and I cashed a ticket with the Houston Rockets earlier this past week in Brooklyn at plus 17. And boy, I was glad to be getting 17 in that game. It was just the number was just too high. Now, with this line open 13 and a half, 14, we've seen the money come for Houston plus the points, and we're talking about 11. And I understand it's Toronto on the second of back-to-backs off a very satisfying win in a relatively meaningless game. But from a line value standpoint, is plus 11 enough in a game that, you expect Houston to lose and Toronto to win?
Yeah, and you know what I had to do, Teddy, was I had to go back and see where Toronto was favored by double digits recently. They've been 11.5 twice in their last 7 games. They covered both of them. However, in both of those games, they had their entire complement of players. Everybody played. Anunoby played. Van Vliet played. Everybody played. It's a different story when you shorten up like that and then come off big minutes. So I do think that 11.5 here might be a little too much. They've covered it recently, but again, personnel on the floor a little bit different. Leads me to Houston here on the 2 full days rest.
Rob, I'm totally with you on this bet. Houston plus 11.5 at Toronto. Charlotte, Chicago, Rob. Well, Chicago can beat any bad team in the league any night they want. They can't seem to beat any good team in the league. How we betting this game?
Well, I went to the team total here, Prez, with the Charlotte Hornets. It was over 115 when I submitted it to you guys. It's since gone up again to 116. This thing opened 112.5, all the way now to 116. A lot of teams are on back-to-backs tonight, Charlotte included. They are on back-to-backs. They need this win. If they win, then one of the 3 teams they're in competition for in this 7, 8, 9, 10 battle for play-in has to lose, because one of the Nets and Cavaliers in that game has to lose. The Hawks could lose to Miami. Maybe they get both. But for Charlotte, the opportunity still exists to get home floor in the 9-10 game or move up to the 7-8 game. They could do that against Cleveland because they own a bunch of tiebreakers. I won't get into all of this, but if they move up to the 7-8 game, you only have to win once and you get two shots at it. So opportunities are there for Charlotte. The Bulls want to win too. You read some of their quotes, but they're just trying to get right. They've been absolutely miserable. I get that they played the 3 best teams in the Eastern Conference the last 3 times out and got slaughtered by all of them. But head coach Billy Donovan, really, a couple of his quotes indicate that they're just trying to get things right now. We'll see if they can. I think team total for Charlotte, it helps if you're playing over that Alex Caruso likely doesn't go here. Even if he does with the back injury, he has not been the same defensive player that they count on the perimeter. So that's good for Charlotte guards. The Hornets offense, let's just go through some numbers here real quick. They've been in 14 back-to-back situations this year. In those 14 games, they average 117 points. Good for us. Back-to-back with travel, home to road game. They've done that 4 times. They average 119 points per game. Again, good for us. All road games this year, Charlotte scores more. They average 117 points per game. Good for us. Last 6 games, and I go back to last 6 because it was right before the 6th that we got a couple of quotes out of the Charlotte Hornets. Head coach James Borrego, Miles Bridges, bunch of guys who said that right now we're going to up the tempo. Not that they haven't been high tempo most of the season, but they wanted to ramp it up. And whenever they have open shots, they're just going to let it fly. They've done that the last 6 games. What it's resulted in is 118 points a game and the 4th fastest pace in the entire NBA. So, last night they didn't play hard minutes, guys. Last night the minutes were minimal because they did it the right way. They got to the halftime blowout. LaMelo Ball only had to go 34-30. He was high. PJ Washington, 33-40. Everybody else, 27 minutes or less. They should be fresh here against the Bulls. The Bulls will be fresh because they're rested. I think you're going to see a lot of pace to this game. And I think the Hornets against the Bulls, whose defense has been absolutely atrocious. Last 5 games, 119 on average given up. They've given up 115 plus in 4 of those. They have the 8th worst defensive efficiency rating over those last 5 games. I don't like the way the Bulls are going defensively, like the way the Hornets are hitting the gas pedal. I shortened it up to team total. Give me Charlotte over. And right now it's at 116 for those watching. I'd stop right there. You don't want to let it get much higher. I wouldn't even go 116.5. This thing has probably played its way out, and you want to win with that 117. That's a key number here. So we like Hornets team total up and over. Values quickly running out on this one.
Yeah, no, I mean, Chicago's in their last 4 games, they gave up $130 to the Clippers, $127 to the Heat, $127 to the Bucks, and $117 to the Celtics. And the only game they won and covered during that span was that rally from behind to beat the Clips in OT. But all 4 of those teams, certainly the last 3, Miami, Milwaukee, and Boston, elite offensive efficiency teams. Charlotte comes and goes in that regard. At times they're lighting it up, and at times they struggle. Do you worry at all about, this bad homestand for the Bulls, and maybe this is the game where they kind of circle the wagons on the defensive end of the floor? Or is that just a non-factor in Chicago as a team to fade until proven otherwise when they face an opponent that can put the biscuit in the basket?
Yeah, well, we are fading the Bulls defense for sure, Teddy, but here comes the balance, right? The equal balance of efficiency and a team that's not as efficient, but you get opportunity. Charlotte probably gets more opportunities at the basket, which you can be a little less efficient if you're going to go at pace and, you're going to make a few less than teams like Miami, Boston, and those teams would per possession down the floor. So I think the opportunities will exist. The Bulls haven't met a pace game that they've backed away from all season long. I think both of these games this year, if I'm not mistaken, went 230 or higher, full game total wise. So I think Charlotte's in a pretty good spot here to get up and over their team total. And when I said halted at 116, that doesn't mean I believe they're going to land on 117 and that's the end of the road. They could, get to 126. But you're still playing against the number, and I think 116 is about where you want to be. 117 is a good key number here for this game.
Robert Veno, excellent
Yes, sir.
stuff. So we got Houston, and we've got the Charlotte team total over. Anything really quick to promote, and I mean like 12 seconds.
I'll go really fast. 4% best bet up and available NBA, WagerTalk.com. Check me out with Skee Profit, one of your guests coming up on his Green Room show, 1 o'clock. Sorry, Prez, I squeezed it in. Teddy, glad to see you back, buddy. Love you both.
Yeah,
Good to
Rob,
see you, Rob.
Great stuff, man. We love having you on and just making fun of you. Teddy Covers, we got a big show still to go. Everybody did the big game breakdown this week. All the co-hosts, they all called it Teddy's big game breakdown. They honored you. They did you proud. But you're the original. Get ready. We're right back, everyone, with Teddy's big game breakdown.
The NBA playoffs start April 16th, and with the play-in games, there are now 20 teams vying for the NBA championship. The 2022 playoffs give you up to 9 weeks of action, with game number 1 of the NBA Finals not even tipping off until June 2nd. Last year, the NBA playoff package was listed for $249, but we've made it even better this year by lowering the entire 9-week playoff package to $199. While the early bird catches the worm may be a cliche, but it holds true to this incredible offer. The first 99 customers can use the coupon code FIRST99 and save an additional $50 off the playoff package, dropping the price down to $149. That's right, 9 weeks of NBA action for $149. That's under $17 per week. Act fast to use code FIRST99, as only the first 99 customers can use this code.
It's time for today's big game breakdown. Let's go to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and talk about the Knicks and the Wizards. I've updated this line twice already, and the money's still pouring in, and it's still not a good line. This line was pick'em last night, Washington -1 in some spots. I'm seeing as high right now. Look at the WagerTalk live odds screen. Knicks -3.5. There was a 4 that popped up. Yeah, Bill Hill just put up a 4. Caesar says a 4. Lots of money coming for the New York Knicks in this matchup. You can understand why. Porzingis is going to sit for Washington. Kuzma is going to sit for Washington. KCP is going to sit for Washington. Who cares? Okay? This is a Knicks team. All right? The Knicks went all in against the Nets the other night. You read the pregame quotes. That team was fired up. RJ Barrett. It's a big game. I know I'm excited. I know the team is fired up. Obi Toppin. We got to win against the Nets. We've lost so many close games against them. We just got to get to win against them. We got to come with a lot of energy. We're in our home in the Garden, so we got to come out and get this win. And you know what happened? The Knicks did what they do. They led by 17 at halftime. They led by 21 in the third quarter against their arch rival, the team they hate, the team that's getting all the headlines in their city. And then Brooklyn outscored the Knicks 60-27 the rest of the way. Okay, that's their best defensive performance of any half this season, Brooklyn, against the Knicks. So, yeah, you send all this money for what? Oh, Porzingis isn't going to play. The Knicks are done. They've checked out. All right? And now they're laying points on the highway and the steam's coming in on the Knicks. I'm not buying it. All right? Washington, 5-1 against the spread, their last 6 off a loss. 4-1 straight up and against the spread, their last 5 and 6, or their last 5 at home. And 6-5 straight up their last 11. They haven't quit. They're still trying. And the Knicks are false favorites here. Give me Washington plus 3.5. No. Shop around. Find a +4 with the Wizards. They're available as we speak. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Prez.
Thanks, brother. Great stuff. Missed that. Everybody, just real quick before we bring Skee in, as I told you at the top of the show, I have a 5% play in NHL. I'm only giving the promo code out on this show. It's NHL15. That's NHL15. $15 off of my 5% play. Please use it. Skee Profits, my brother. How the hell are you, man?
Well, I had a good day yesterday. I went 10-4. I've been doing well lately. So everything's all good on my end. It's good to be here with you guys. Can I do a Teddy impression? I want to ask Teddy a question about his big game breakdown.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
So I would ask you, is it going to bother you for the Washington side that they're without, a few of their main scorers? You have Porzingis ruled out. Obviously, Kuzma's ruled out. KCP is ruled out. Would you still like the Wizards without all 3 of those guys?
Yeah, that's why I bet them.
Okay.
Absolutely. Washington, as we see in the NBA every night, all right, this guy sits and somebody else steps up. Oh, my God, Tatum's sitting for the Celtics and Horford. Oh, no. And I got to pull my 5% down. I'm like, it'll be fine. All right. And it was fine. Wire-to-wire job. Certainly the second half of that ballgame with Boston plus. So personnel-wise, the market's overreact, especially at this stage of the season, where it's much less about personnel and much more about what team cares and what team's going to show up. And I'm not convinced the Knicks care or are going to show up for either of their final 2 regular season games. Good question, Skee. Prez?
Skee, we already spoke Houston, Toronto. We're going to do it again. Rob Veno came on. He likes Houston. I like Houston tonight as well. Where are you going in this game?
I like this game a few different ways. I won't waste too much time on the Houston side. I did bet them last night, plus, 14.5? But, Rob Veno came on and gave you a lot of reasons to even bet it at this number. The last 7 games, I know they stayed within that 14.5, but I think 6 of the last 7 Rockets have stayed within 11 or 11.5. And the Raptors just played last night. You have the Rockets on 2 days rest. So people who follow me for a while, I'm a big believer in the rest advantage. So I like the Rockets, to stay within the number on this game. I also like the over. I just don't really see the Raptors being motivated to play defense on the back-to-back, especially when they're looking at a poor team on the other side in the Rockets. And I'm surprised, I didn't hear Rob Veno mention it, but Rockets games, why are they lined under 230? That's just too low in general for Rockets games. They don't play defense. They play up tempo. And on the season, if they have a total under 230, they're going over 62% of the time. So, yes, Toronto's a good defensive team, but like I said, looking at the Houston Rockets on the other side, they know they can win this game. They just got to outscore them. So I like the Rockets plus the points. I like this game up and over the total. And if you want to look at some player props, it's a few guys who've been balling. Jalen Green, his point total is 23.5. He's averaging 30 his last 6 games. And KPJ, his point prop is 19.5, and he's averaging 28 points per game the last 5. So liking the Rockets side, getting a lot of points in this game.
So when you look at what Houston's done lately, they've certainly been competitive. They certainly cashed tickets. They certainly cashed over bets for their backers. But you look at recent opponents: Brooklyn, Minnesota, Sacramento twice, San Antonio, Portland twice. They haven't faced a whole lot of real good defensive teams of late, like Toronto. Last time they faced a good defensive team came at Dallas. They scored 91. The game stayed under by margin. Before that, the last time they faced a good defensive team, Memphis. They scored 98 in that game. That game stayed under by margin. Does it concern you here that Houston's recent success has come against a lot of teams that don't bring it on the defensive end? Toronto, even on the second of back-to-backs, I haven't seen a whole lot of games this year where the Raptors have let go of the rope defensively.
I get it. And I did think about that, but the Raptors have a short rotation, like I talked about. They played yesterday. And I just looked at these teams in general. Favorites of 12 or more on a back-to-back. And so far this year, they're 10-1 to the over. If you want to go back to 2018, they're 22-8, 73.3%. And that just tells me that, yes, these teams are good. Yes, they're capable of playing defense, but they're not motivated to play defense on a back-to-back when they see poor teams on the other side. So it's not going to bother me in this scenario.
Skee Profit, everyone. You can find him on Twitter at Skee Profit. Atlanta playing Miami. Atlanta minus 1.5, 230, give or take, is the total. How do we bet this game?
Well, I'll mention our guy again, Mr. Ravino. I heard him, I think, on this show, maybe last week, maybe a couple days ago. He said that, Miami was going to bring it in that last game, lock up the number one seed, and then they can go on vacation. And that's how I feel. You have Miami. Nobody can pass them for the number one seed. They're good. The Hawks, on the other hand, they're still fighting for a position. They're in that 9th seed right now, and I'm pretty sure they want to continue to move up the ranks. It's much easier to win one game instead of two for the play-in tournament. They've won 6 of their last 7 games, and I just always think about Trae Young and what he said in the beginning of the season. It's hard to get up for all these games. The regular season is boring. We just want to get to the playoffs. Playoff time is coming. They're heating up. They're playing well. I think they get the job done here. I took them last night, plus 2.5, but honestly, I would take them even at the minus number right now. I think they win this game.
So here's my question, because it feels like the markets are convinced that Miami's going to lay down tonight. And, you look at who's supposed to sit. Gabe Vincent might sit and Caleb Martin might sit, but their key guys are likely to play this evening. And I haven't read anything. I haven't found anything that says, yeah, Miami's not taking this game seriously. Miami's laying it down. Have you seen any quotes in that regard? Because if it's Miami versus Atlanta, both teams are bringing their A games. Only one of these two teams can get stops in the fourth quarter, and that's the Heat. And they're the home dogs. So if Miami's playing, if they're coming to play, they're the better squad. What makes you think Miami doesn't play here?
I'll just compare it to a game we saw last night, right? Denver, they still have stuff to play for, and Memphis really doesn't. Memphis has been good all year, but they got killed last night. I just want to have my money on the team at this time of the year when I know they have motivation to play. Yes, Miami is great. Yes, all year. It hasn't really mattered who's been in the lineup, but I want the team who really, really needs this game tonight in my pocket. That's just how I feel.
Skee Profit. Skee, let's talk Portland, Dallas. How are we betting this game?
Well, help me out here. The total, has this one moved at all? I know I bet it at 220.
I'm seeing
The total
220s
is
mostly out
exactly
there. There were
220.
221 and a half last night. So we've seen a
Yeah,
little bit.
but it's 220 now, and there is a 219.5 on the board. The line is minus 19.5.
Okay, well, a few different things I like here. First, I want to say before I forget, if Maxi Kleber doesn't play, I would be looking towards Powell rebounds again. Portland's a poor rebounding team, and he's going to get a lot of minutes and more opportunities. He cashed the last game without him. The game before that, I think he had a crazy double stat line. So I'm looking towards him if Maxi's out tonight. Other than that, Portland just played last night. Looking at their last 3 games, they're averaging less than 95 points per game. Dallas at the house, they're allowing opponents under 100 points per game. They're 28-10 to the under at the house. pace for both of these teams the last 5 games, 30th, 27th. And like I mentioned, the Blazers offense just sucks. They're the second worst offensive rated team the last 5 games. So all year long, when the Mavs are at the house, you play the under. I like that. But I also like Portland team total under. Last I saw was 101.5.
Teddy?
Yeah, usually after the third question, it goes to you, Lawrence. But I'm happy to keep going with Skee on this one. But I don't really have a good follow-up for you, Skee. So why don't you let us know what's going on tonight over at WagerTalk.com, what you have going. You can promote yourself a little bit. 'Cause I know you're on a real good NBA run.
Sure. I've made so far 5 plays for today, I think, and I've shared them all with you guys. I might make more throughout the day. I'm a high volume player. My last 709 plays in the NBA, which is since November 5th, about 2 weeks into the season when we had enough data, 398 wins, 311 losses, 56.1%. If you want to look at just a little bit more lately, I've won 18 of my last 23 games. So looking good right now.
Nice.
Hopefully we keep it going tonight.
Nice, Skee. Awesome stuff. Skee Profit, everybody. Teddy covers. We need some thumbs up on the show. We only have 62 likes. I went 3-0 in the daily presidential address yesterday. 3-0. If they want another, we got to get 38 more likes, everybody. Speaking of likes, Matt Joesph joining us. You can find him at Sports Memo and on Virginia ESPN Radio. Is that right, Matt?
ESPN Radio Richmond. Yes, thank you.
How are you, my friend? Nice to see you.
Doing well. Enjoying the fact that baseball season's underway. Always one of my favorite sports to handicap. We had a good day yesterday, 4-1 on opening day, including 2 wins on K-props, which I think I do pretty well at.
Nice. Awesome. Well, best of luck, man. I hope you knock it out the park, if you will. Let's get straight to it tonight, though. Yankees playing Red Sox. This is a matchup we're going to see a lot this year. First one, how do we bet this game?
So I'll say this, and this is, I know Teddy's preached this a lot, reading the quotes and making sure to read what the managers are saying. We saw this yesterday. One of my wins was the under on Shane Bieber's K-prop. It was 6.5. It was set like he was going deep in the game. The manager basically said, at least for the whole first round through, each and every Indians pitcher is not going deep in games. And so Shane Bieber was modestly solid, had 4 strikeouts, and went under the K-prop total. Well, once again today, Garrett Cole only threw 5 1/3 innings in spring training. Now, he did some side stuff, but he's only looking to go 75, 80 pitches today. And once again, we're getting a number, 6.5 strikeouts here. I think I'm going under. If you can think that he's going to get 7 strikeouts in 5 innings, you look last year, he saw the Red Sox 5 times. He went under that number 3 times. So reading off the quotes that he's only going to go 75, 80 pitches today, I'll take my shot that Garrett Cole doesn't get 7 strikeouts in 5-ish innings, which Bieber didn't even go 5 innings in his game yesterday. I'll take a shot here at the overpriced K-prop number, 6.5. I'll go under on Garrett Cole coming up in this game.
So here's my question. Are the Red Sox a team that's going to strike out a lot this year? Are they a team that's likely to put the ball into play? One of the underrated factors in these K-props is not just the pitcher, it's the lineup that they're facing in terms of do they strike out or will they make contact? What's your take on Boston? A team that's going to strike out a lot or a team that's not going to be an over team when it comes to strikeout props?
I think they're middle of the road. They had stretches last year where, as a team, they couldn't hit anybody in terms of strikeouts. And I feel like that's the case with almost everybody, even like the Royals, a team who notoriously don't strike out a lot. They have their stretches where they just have issues. I think the Red Sox are going to be one of these middle of the road teams. You're going to be able to take some overs with some pitchers that have lower numbers, and some of the other pitchers, you're going to take unders. Case in point is, as we just talked about with Garrett Cole, last year there were a couple games where they just couldn't hit him and they struck out a ton, but there were a bunch of other games where they had a lot of contact on Cole. And I think the pitchers, especially that they know and have a lot of history with, they're not going to strike out a ton. The key will be Trevor Story. I mean, Trevor Story is the big piece to this lineup now, and we'll see what his numbers are like outside of Coors Field, which, as everybody knows, one of the biggest trends last year was K-prop unders in Coors Field for the opposition because the Rockies just didn't strike out there. So we'll see how he does in Fenway Park with this new lineup.
Matt Joesph, everyone, 4-1 yesterday to start the baseball season. Matt, Robbie Ray on the mound. He's dead to me. He's playing against Minnesota. Ryan is on the mound. -128 is the total. Let Robbie's descent to hell begin. How are we going to bet this game?
Well, it's his fault if you guys didn't want to pay him. I mean, that's,
I know.
that's the issue there.
I'm just playing around.
I'm actually going to go with an even rarer bet that's in a bunch of books, so it's not. So you could definitely find it. I'm taking under 2.5 runs in the first 3 innings, and DraftKings has this. BetMGM has this. There are several places where you can get 3-inning bets. The weather for this game is supposed to be really cold, and the wind is supposed to be blowing in. It's going to be one of those miserable situations. They didn't play the game yesterday because of poor weather. Well, it's not going to be much better today. I mean, it's not going to be precipitation issues, but it's going to be really cold, and with the wind blowing in, I can't imagine a lot of runs being scored. Robbie Ray last year held opponents to a 186 batting average the first time through the order. Minnesota hitters are 7 for 34 with 13 strikeouts against Robbie Ray in his career. And then you look at Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan was a pitcher in the minors that had a ton of strikeouts. He's got really nasty stuff. And last year, he held batters to a 140 batting average the first time through the order. None of the opposition has seen him before, which I always like to go with. And as I talked about the weather here. So instead of giving these guys a second time through the order, I'm going to go under 2.5 runs the first 3 innings, which in theory, if they go 1, 2, 3, will be 1 time through the order. So give me the under early on. I think the weather's a factor, and both pitchers who are really good the first time through the order are also factors.
Yeah, this is a pretty strong weather under for what it's worth. Temperatures in the low 40s throughout the game, even upper 30s, and 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing in from right center. You talked about your rationale looking at the 1 time through the lineup versus the first 5 inning under. You're looking at a first 3 inning under. Is that something that you're doing a lot right now? Because that's not a bet. Again, this is a relatively new option in the sports betting world. Is this something that you're looking to consider more and more moving forward? Is this something that's priced properly when it comes to the juice that you have to lay, et cetera, with the 3 inning line as opposed to the 5 inning line, as opposed to the full game line?
Yeah, the juice is usually good. I mean, it's usually juiced slightly to the under, and it's usually about, around half of, obviously, the 5-inning bet. This one, I believe the 5 innings is 4. The first 3 is 2.5 here. And it's one of those things, Teddy, where, there's certain pitchers who the second time through the order are just not very good. And if there's guys who have really good stuff, and if it's your first time seeing them or you don't have a lot of history, Robbie Ray's got good stuff. And if he's not walking people, he's going to be able to mow through that order. And certainly with a rookie, well, not really a rookie because he pitched a little bit last year, but Joe Ryan with a team that's never seen him before and the stuff that he has and the weather, it's certainly something I would consider in the right situations. I am more of a first 5 guy, but I've started to incorporate first 3s with guys who are especially strong that first time through the order and get slightly worse the second time through.
Matt, one of our listeners, Darren Darcy, asks, would you do a no-run first inning bet in that game?
I usually don't like the no-run first inning bets. I mean, I can see the rationale, and of course, you're probably saying, well, wait, if you can take the under in the first 3 innings, you could probably do it in the first inning. But I just, weird things happen, solo home run, and then all of a sudden, you're not losing your 3-inning bet, you're losing your first inning bet. It's something I don't like. Occasionally, I may take the no-run first inning in Coors Field because usually it's plus money, especially if we get solid pitchers because everybody thinks that runs are scored in every inning in Coors Field. But that's not one of my bets that's usually in my repertoire. I kind of stay away from the first inning.
Outstanding stuff, man. What do you got to promote?
Well, I got a package up on sportsmemo.com trying to build off the 4-1 day yesterday and opening day. And also follow me on Twitter at MidMajor Matt. Nice little run of free NBA props I've been giving out, 16-6 on Twitter. So certainly follow me there at MidMajor Matt.
Nice stuff. Matt Joesph, everyone. Teddy covers. It's time for before we get into the daily presidential address, real quick, I have a doctor's appointment at 12:30 on Monday. Rotator cuff issues. So Steve Merrill will be sitting in, but I'm not going away, Teddy. It's not a vacation. I'll be back on Tuesday, I promise. Anyway, it's time for the daily presidential address. Welcome, everybody, to the daily presidential address. It's Friday. Great day in these videos yesterday. I went 3-0, gave out the Braves the Braves over 8.5, Vancouver in regulation, and the Rangers on the money line. I got 2 bets for you guys at the back end of this video. Hopefully, we'll go into the weekend on a 5-0 run in these picks. Just really quick, I have a 5% play up in NHL tonight. I do have a promo code, but you'd have to listen to WagerTalk Today to get it. It's right at the beginning, so head over to YouTube. Check out WagerTalk Today if you're watching this on my Twitter feed. 2 plays for today. First, we're going to hockey. Minnesota and St. Louis over the total of 6. I think we're going to get a lot of goals scored in this game. St. Louis is trending to the over almost every game. This team has changed their style over the last year, and they are scoring a lot. I like over the total of 6. As well, I am making a bet on the Jays game. Line came out at 9.5. It is now 9. I'm going over the total. There is just too much pop on that Toronto bench, on the Toronto in the Toronto batting lineup, and it's not like Jose Barrios is going to be pitching till the 7th inning. So take the over 9 in the Texas-Toronto game, over 6 in the mini St. Louis game. Teddy, I am sincerely and genuinely happy to have you back, bro. I can't wait for next week when we are in rhythm, because we haven't done a show together for a while. Anyway, I love you. I'm glad you're back. Best wishes. Give everybody in your family a kiss and an apology from me. Take us home, bro.
Sure, but we're doing a show today, and you're taking Monday off. So there's no rhythm.
Well, I'm not taking Monday off, dude. I got a doctor's appointment that I can't get out of. I can't get out of my doctor's appointment. Like,
you schedule them when you want to schedule them, and you wanted to schedule them during the show. So that's your take. That's going to wrap it for the week here at WagerTalk Today. We'll do it again next week, Monday through Friday, right here on the WagerTalk TV YouTube channel. Thanks to all of our guests today, Rob Veno, Matt, Joesph, and Skee Profit. Thanks to you for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with us. Enjoy the games tonight and all weekend. And good luck. We'll see you guys on Monday.
Baseball is back, and we want to celebrate by slashing the cost of any daily picks packages. That includes a baseball play by 50%, including 5% best bets. This amazing promotion runs from Thursday, April 7th, when 18 of the 30 MLB teams take part in opening day, to midnight on Wednesday, April 13th, and you can get $25 daily packages for $12.50, $29 daily combo packages for $14.50, $35 5% best bets for $17.50, and $39 5% best bet combo packages for $19.50. Whether you never bet on MLB or just like discounts, save 50% on baseball picks for the entire first week of the baseball regular season.